when my heart screams, I want to help this person. What can I do? I want to share a story with you guys about one of my best friends in the world, Keisha. She shared with me this story of this man that she'd seen around town for years, I believe, and she was pretty sure that he lived in his car. She didn't really know much of his story, but she would see him out and about. And she said that one day she just said, I've got to talk to him. This is ridiculous. She felt, her heart was screaming to connect with him, and so she did. And this past Thanksgiving, she knocked on his window of his car and she said, "Hi, do you have anywhere to go, or what? Do you have a meal for tonight, a hot meal?" And I think he didn't tell the truth at first and said, "Oh, sure, I do." And she knew that it wasn't true. And she said, "Because I would like to bring you a meal." And apparently his eyes lit up and he just seemed so happy and grateful. And she said, "Okay." Then she was at the grocery store in the parking lot, and she said, "Then will you please meet me back here at 4:00 today, and I'll have a hot meal for you." And she went home and cooked and got the meal ready and put together a beautiful plate for him. And Keisha's like the best cook in the whole wide world, so I'm like, gourmet. I mean, awesome stuff. And she put this meal together on a real plate, not on a plastic plate, not on a paper plate, on a nice plate from her kitchen with real silverware and a little bag of goodies. And she went and met him, and apparently he said, "Well, this is a real plate." And she said, "Take the plate, just enjoy." And she shared with me that it felt so good to follow that impulse of helping him and reaching out to him. And I said, maybe you'll get to know him. Maybe you'll hear more of his story. Maybe you'll help him in other ways. But regardless of whatever happens next, I think what's so important is that when we feel that impulse to connect with someone and help them in some way, that there's a reason for that. I mean, I believe in angels. I believe in the angels that we don't see. I talked to my son about that, the spirit angels, and then angels in the flesh. And I think that each one of us can be an angel in the flesh. And it's important that we listen to those calls to help and serve others. And we all have a different way in which we go about that. But for Keisha, it felt right to reach out to this man and to bring him a meal on Thanksgiving. And I then encouraged her to just keep that up. And I'm really proud of her because that takes courage to reach out to a stranger who may or may not receive your offer or even want this. We didn't know his story, but I'm just really grateful that she shared that story. And want to connect that with the topic of being a good role model. I said, "That's really incredible. She has 2 awesome boys." And I said, "That's a really great example for your boys." And she said, "Zoe, this is who we need to be as people, right? We get so caught up in our lives. This is who we need to be as people." Everyone out there is longing for connection. Everyone out there has a story. Everyone out there wants or needs help in some way. Even the most powerful, successful people want or need help in some way. And it's all about giving where we know we can give. And I'm just excited. I said to Keisha, please, 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 maybe the next time you see him, she says she runs into him at the Starbucks sometimes. I said, can you just, get him a cup of coffee and find out what his story is? Because I have this feeling that things are changing for him, and that something's gonna click if it hasn't already for this man. And so I am rooting for him, and I'm excited for him and for his next chapter in his life. And I'm really grateful for you, Keisha, for listening to your huge, huge, huge heart, and for reaching out to him, and for being an incredible example for all of us on how we need to be as humans. Thank you.